What if there was a school that didn't care about your age, only your broken pieces? Imagine a city at night, as the tall office buildings, one by one, switch off their lights, casting long shadows across the streets. A single old schoolhouse at the edge of town begins to glow. This is no ordinary school. It comes to life only when the rest of the world goes to sleep. Here, you woe unfind yellow school buses lining the curb, or hear the sharp ring of a bell signaling the start of class. There are no crisp uniforms or hurried students rushing through hallways. There is only a single warm light spilling from the doorway and a simple wooden sign hanging beside it. It reads, "Night School for anyone who wants to begin again." The students who walk through this door are not children with backpacks full of textbooks. They are adults carrying burdens far heavier than books. There's a mother, her own dreams packed away in a dusty attic, while she spent her life nurturing the dreams of others. There's a middle-aged man, haunted by an exam he failed decades ago, a failure that has defined him ever since. A young woman is here too, convinced by years of being told she was too stupid to ever belong in a classroom. And there, in the corner, sits a retired factory worker, his hands rough from a lifetime of labor, with a single humble wish to read one complete book from cover to cover before his time is up. They all arrive separately, but they share a common companion, a shadow that follows them through the door. Shame. The teacher is an old woman. Her eyes are soft, filled with a deep, knowing kindness, and her hands are dusted with chalk. When she turns to the blackboard, she doesn't write down complex equations or grammatical rules. Instead, she writes 3 simple lines, each one a balm for a wounded soul. The first line says, "You are not late." The second, "You are not stupid." And the third, "You are allowed to learn slowly." Before the first official lesson even begins, a few students quietly wipe tears from their eyes. For the first time in a long time, they feel seen, not for their failures, but for their desire to try again. And so, their learning begins, not in spite of their scars, but with them. They tackle math problems with hands that tremble, the numbers blurring through a film of anxiety. They read simple stories aloud, their voices cracking on words they've never dared to speak before. In this room, there are moments of shared, gentle laughter and moments of quiet, cathartic tears. No one is ever judged for being too old to start, too slow to understand, or too broken to be whole. There is only one unbreakable rule in this classroom. You are not allowed to call yourself names here. The harsh inner critics that have plagued them for years must remain silent within these walls. Then, slowly, breakthroughs begin to happen, like the first rays of dawn after a long night. One evening, the mother solves a challenging algebra problem all by herself, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. The man, who had been dreading this moment, passes a practice test, the very same kind he had failed all those years ago. The young woman, who believed she couldn't read, finishes an entire page without stopping, her heart pounding with a forgotten sense of accomplishment. And the old worker, he finally closes the cover of his first book. He holds it in his hands, not like a simple object, but like a small, precious trophy, a testament to his quiet perseverance. Every small victory, no matter how minor it might seem to the outside world, echoes like quiet thunder in their hearts. In this school, there are no final exams, no grades, and no paper diplomas handed out at the end of the term. The teacher explains it best one evening. "Your real certificate," she says, her voice soft but firm, "is the moment you stop saying, 'I can't,' before you even try." And as the weeks turn into months, a subtle transformation takes place. Their shoulders, once slumped with the weight of failure, begin to straighten. They start looking up, meeting each other's eyes. They begin to help one another, the one who understands a concept explaining it patiently to the one who struggles. They start to believe for each other, offering encouragement when one of them feels like giving up. The classroom becomes a community, a sanctuary built on shared vulnerability and mutual respect. A tired heart can learn again. A closed book can still be opened. As the first light of sunrise paints the sky, the students of the night school leave one by one. They have dark circles under their eyes from a night of hard work. But for the first time, there is a new light shining within their faces. They walk back into the waking city, a little stronger, a little braver, and a little more whole. Behind them, the school's lights turn off, and the building settles into silence, waiting patiently for the next night and for the next person who wants to begin again.